everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back. I'm back for our Game of Thrones Revisit the Throne series that me, Moochilla, and Miss K are doing. So I'm going to welcome my lovely ladies. We're actually doing, this is season 1, episode 3, Lord Snow.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, hi ladies.
Hi.
All right. I got my screenshots. You guys said that you wanted the screenshots and you like that format. So we just going to kind of do it off the cuff and see how it goes. Okay. So
Right.
let me add it and we can start here. So we're starting here at the beginning of 103. This is when Robert and Ned, you remember that argument they kind of had, that disagreement they had in episode 2, kind of split them up. So Robert went on his way, Ned went on his way. So he comes to the capital, he gets to King's Landing, and they greet him. They was like, do you want to put on some better attire to meet with the small council? And he's like, no. I said he is real flippant about this whole, he is not feeling it. He's not here for it. And he came in there, and I just felt like, I said, dang, he felt like he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, because I'm going to let some of the clips play and then we're going to pick up and have a conversation. So this is him. He walks into the throne room and he sees Jaime. And you remember, hold on. Y'all remember when last time Ned saw Jaime in the throne room, he had just killed Aerys Targaryen. So it was kind of like the same. I think that was fan art. Was that fan art? Or was that, how the Game of Thrones has the little cartoon or the anime things? I think they showed him sitting on the throne and Aerys being on the ground because he had stabbed him in the back. So he has the name Kingslayer. So you'll hear Robert call him the Kingslayer. I got a feeling that Robert does not like those Lannisters. Like it felt like this was, the thing that I can point to that in stark contrast is Ned and Catelyn's relationship grew to love, whereas Cersei and Robert's didn't. It's purely out of obligation. So you definitely can see that. And then of course with the whole relationship with Jaime. So I mean, I don't understand how you really could actually fall in love while you still have an intimate partner outside of it being your brother. So anyway, you saw how they Miss Kate. I know how you like to go in between Jaime and Ned and how they be interacting. Did you have anything to say about,
just this scene right here, I almost feel bad for Jaime, because Ned was being a little like Ned is really, even though people always talk about how much he's an honorable man, he's hard also, right. Like, I'm not cutting slack because you killed him. Like, that's supposed to make you, some type of hero. But in reality, it really did make him a hero. And Ned just didn't see that,
Right.
And that's one of the redeeming qualities of, I guess it'll probably turn out to be something redeeming for him. For Jaime, you know what I mean?
Because you saw in that conversation, he even brought it up and talking about, after what he did to your uncle and your father and stuff like that. So they definitely had a conversation, and it was like he was desperately trying to get some kind of acknowledgement from Ned.
And some type of approval, like aren't you glad that it felt like justice after what he did to your brother and your father,
Right.
And honestly, I agreed with him. And I'm team Ned, but I felt Jaime on this part.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. What you got to say, Moochie?
I feel like with this, everything with Ned Stark is about honor. And he feels like because he stabbed him in the back, basically, there was no honor in that. There was no honor in that. And then to top it off, he's already mad that he had to kill the wolf the night before.
Right.
So it's still tension between both of the families with that whole incident happening.
And then, you guys, do you remember when they did a flashback of Ned and another Kingsguard or somebody stabbed somebody in the back of the neck, like while he was fighting him? It's like something he just do not like about. It's no honor in stabbing somebody in the back or something. So, and then I also think he kind of picks up on energy. Like if you don't feel right, something don't feel right about you, like he ain't messing with you. Like it's something that, he just, like you said, he's real stern. Yeah. But I feel like he does, like, with the, let me get our names up. I'm sorry.
The thing with him, if I could say it, is like he's honorable to a fault. And I feel like when people have those type of great qualities, they have to have some type of flexibility with it. You know what I mean? Right. Like, what the heck was Jaime supposed to do? People were literally watching this man torture folks, command for them to burn them all and all this stuff. And people were literally watching. Yeah. What? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to step up. Maybe like Jaime said, would you have rather I stabbed him in the belly? You know what I'm saying? Like, who has time for that? Right.
But that's how he sees it, I guess.
Yeah. Which is the reason why there was a lot. His own flaw played a lot into everything that happens eventually. Right. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. I can't So then the next scene we see Ned seeing
Lord Baelish.
Littlefinger, right? Mm-hmm. And I think he saw Viserys as well in this one. Hold on, I'm sorry, yeah.
Littlefinger.
Oh yeah, Littlefinger. Okay, whatever. So he actually, I guess, greeted him or whatever, and then they go in there with the small council. And like I said, it felt like Ned just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Like he was just on one. They basically. I think the council is the master of coin. We have the maester there. Mm-hmm. We have Lord Viserys, and I don't really know his role. I just think
master of whispers.
Whispers, okay, yeah. Right. It's just like, and y'all, I was so surprised. I got this in this episode that he even knew what happened in the north between just the 4 people that she took in the Godswood and confessed and all that stuff or whatever. And he was like, well, where's the blade and all the, well, I'm not going to do it yet. I got screenshots of it or whatever, but I was surprised. He was like, yeah, I even got little birdies in the north. I was like, oh, okay.
Knowledge is my trade.
Right. Right. So they get in there and
that was the eunuch that said that, right?
Yeah, yes. Lord Viserys. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and they were saying that the crown is so much in debt, but he wants to have attorney in your honor, for you becoming hand to the king or whatever. He wants to have this, and it was going to cost all this millions of dollars. And he was like, "We're like $6 million in debt to the whatever the Iron Bank or something
to the crown." Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh God!" He said, "No, we're 9 million." I was like,
"It's a wonder that they're even rich."
Right?
He feels like the Lannisters are rich, but his house is not rich. Baratheon. He's in so much debt that they're basically getting the money from Cersei's side of the family.
Right.
But they're also borrowing from the crown.
Right. Exactly.
And so from not from the crown, from the Iron Bank. They're just all in debt all around.
Right. Right. And so Ned is looking at this decree from the king, and he's like, hell no, we're not doing this. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, no, it's just too much. I'm not gonna do it. And then everybody just kind of looking around like, what? They got up his damn ass.
Right. And they also mentioned how fast he's spending the money as quick as they make it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Now this scene burnt me up. I was sitting up here. I was like, girl, do you know that you created a monster? Like, I just felt like that just showed us right then and there that we got a real life monster on our hands. Like even his regular thought patterns, like not even the stuff that she was feeding him, like the stuff that he was just saying on his own, talking about increase their taxes, take their armies, do all this stuff. I was like, whoa, those are some big moves or whatever. So I guess it was foreshadowing the biggest move that he makes in episode 9. But I digress. I'm going to take off my tennis shoes and we're going to get back to 103.
Don't put the shoes on tonight, because there's certain parts I want to talk about, but that's why mom's is the word. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
It's hard.
Right. And the actual sentence that stood out to me was when she was like this, and when you're king, the truth will be whatever you want it to be. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, that was a lot. Like, it just made, I was just, y'all, what y'all think about it? That scene was a mess.
I feel like she's actually creating a monster right here, and she doesn't even realize it yet, because she just wants to spoil her child. Yeah. That's how I see it.
My darling boy.
Right. She, this scene right here really shows us, like both of you are saying, that she's created this monster, not even creating, she's created this monster. And the fact that she was over here feeding him a lie, saying, you fought off a dire wolf, you're a hero, or whatever she said, right? And it was just like
training him how to lie.
Right. And it's like, what are you talking? And like you said, the truth will be whatever you make it. And this is the reason why he's such a horrible, kid who thinks that the world is at his feet. Everything is just the way I say. We even have moments where he says, if you're going to do whatever, whoever is like, you're basically my play toy. Whoever I say is my play toy or my plaything, that's who it is. So that's all I'm going to say with that one.
Right. We like to say I command a lot too.
Yes. Right. I am king.
I command you.
Yeah, I'm your prince, not your lord. Remember he said that to the butcher's boy?
I was just like, boy, he is so indignant.
I couldn't stand him.
I can't stand him either. This is like, between him and Cersei, those are the two people I started hating first, and Littlefinger.
Right.
And the unit, he gets on my nerves too.
Behind for me. I was, if I didn't like anybody in Winterfell, the Starks, Sansa was definitely on the list.
Oh, she's on the list too. She was on the list from last episode when she lied.
Right.
I don't remember. It happened so fast.
And then, speaking of that, we're about to transition to when Arya was sitting up there stabbing that knife. Hold on, we're gonna get to it. Look at her. She was pissed. You hear me? She was mad. Like, everybody, like the whole thing, I guess, that they killed the dire wolves, everything that played out, the butcher boy is dead. I mean, it was a lot of stuff to kind of work through, and I can understand the anger and the frustration that Arya is going through, because one, my own sister didn't have my back.
Right.
Like, so she's upset, and she said, the lady was like, who are you doing that to? She was like, no. Or Sansa said, she was like, I'm practicing for the prince. I was cracking up. That scene was very tense. Them girls was upset. Could nobody get them together? Like, even Ned came and bought Sansa a doll, and he couldn't get on nobody good side. Everybody was mad.
Yes.
He said girls are harder than war.
Yes, he said war was easier than girls or something.
Right.
I thought that was a shame how she treated her father, because he was trying to make it right, and she just was acting like us. Ugh.
I haven't played with dolls since I was 8 years old.
Right. Yeah, whatever he did, it did not work. Any other thoughts?
I mean, with Sansa, it didn't work. But I felt like when he had the conversation he had with Arya, it worked.
Oh yeah. So he kind of went up there and she was playing with needle and stuff, and he kind of, what's that? Where you get it from? I know whose work it is. And then she, he kind of softened up to her. She was just like, I'm not a lady. She made sure, she made clear that I'm not a lady. I don't want to follow in them type of footsteps. That's not my path. So
right,
I
that's
think
not me.
that was really brave of her at her age. And during those times, being able to stand up in her voice and really just
say what she wants,
to say. What y'all think about it? She was better than Sansa for sure. And they had a little heart to heart and everything. And he actually let her keep Needle. So
yeah.
I
thought that was good because that's something that was like, he's like, where did you get this? My thing is, I wish that she would have said I got it from John, but she didn't do anything, but what difference would that have made? Whatever, I don't know, but she just neglected to tell him altogether. And he's like, whatever, you can keep it. And the sticking with the pointy end thing was funny.
It was
but like you said, she just kind of lays it all on the line. Like, whatever you're expecting of me, that is not who I am. And then she also challenges him, like, how could you let Sansa marry somebody like that?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought it up, because when I was watching it, I said, come on, girl, go ahead and bring it up, because it speaks to a person's character.
Yeah.
And, if he's already doing that, like, I, in good faith and good conscience, couldn't trust giving my daughter over to him.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense to me, because if he's already in that mindset and he thinks that he can do anything, like, I would feel like my daughter is unsafe.
Yep.
So, I mean, but that's what Sansa wanted. So,
yeah.
Even still, even after all the melee, she still wanted him.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy about all of that is that even though it's what Sansa wanted, back in those times, it really didn't matter what a female wanted, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So why did you continue to allow this to go on? You know, like, all right, it's time to say, forget it, bro. I'm gonna be here for you, but as far as them being betrothed, no, sir. All right, I might maybe we'll wait for Tommen or something, but we ain't gonna be doing
right. And especially if all this evidence is mounting against the Lannisters, like, you're getting like nuggets and things that's happening, and like, you're ignoring all the red flags. And that's what frustrated me in season 1 with Ned. He was just missing it. Like, completely missing it. Like you said, loyal to a fault or honorable to a fault.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like he was not listening to his inner, like, I was just like, oh my God. I just
even though I'm jumping ahead of it, it's still in this episode. It's funny how Littlefinger said the Starks, quick tempers, slow minds, right? Or maybe the other way around, but basically saying that they're not the brightest, they're not the sharpest tools in the shed, and they're so quick to react or act, like, really sit and think, Ned. Sheesh.
Right. And that was his thing. He was the thinker. He had plans and motions. He was 10 steps ahead. They always say you want to be 3 moves ahead. Littlefinger was 10 moves ahead. So he was just definitely spoke to that.
He was on it though. Right. He was on it. You can't say that he ain't have his stuff planned out.
Right.
To a T.
Yeah.
Oh my God. A patient man too. Very patient. Those are the most dangerous ones.
This is when you first see the 3-eyed crow or the 3-eyed something or whatever.
This is when he first starts having the visions.
Right. When it first showed up to Bran or whatever. And so that was kind of like a foreshadowing that we didn't know. Nan was sitting at the side. She was like, don't listen to that thing. It's, it's whatever. Right. I'm like,
that's how she sounds. The crows are lawyers.
Right.
Don't listen to it.
And she was telling him all the stories and stuff like that. And, he was so just depressed and down about his condition, like that is a lot to come to grips with, that you can never walk and you're going to be a cripple. So that was just, and when he told Rob, he said, I'd rather be dead.
Yeah.
And Rob said, don't say that. He said, no.
He said it again. He stood on his word.
Said it again.
So no pun intended, but
right.
he stood on his word.
Yeah, so
My bad.
That was kind of heartbreaking, you know. That was just like one of those moments, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, he's like, I'm serious. I'm not just talking. I'd rather die. Like,
right.
You know, it's sad, but and if also for Rob, that had to be hard for him to hear his little brother say that, which is why he was so stern. Like, don't you ever say that, you know, because who the heck wants to hear that, you know? But everything has been taken away from him, basically. You know, this is a little boy who could climb like crazy, and he also dreamed about being a knight. So it's tough for him. It's like his life is taken. His everything that he felt like was his purpose was taken from him.
Yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow. Okay, so we see Catelyn. She makes it in one episode. You know, some people like they travel fast, and sometimes it takes 2 episodes, maybe it takes 1 episode. So anyway, she got down here pretty fast or whatever, and the Lannisters immediately come and takes her off and puts her in, I guess he's kind of like the brothel that Littlefinger has. And she was like, what is the meaning of this? And then he kind of like comes out the, you know, nobody's gonna look for you here. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be known that you're here. Then I came here to put you here. And so, okay. I mean, I ain't see nothing wrong with it. But
she's just uppity. She's uppity. That just goes to show how uppity she is. Have you lost your mind? This is exactly why Sansa's like that.
Right.
Yeah, she acts like her mother a lot.
Yeah.
Just
and
very
it's gonna
uppity.
Be detrimental to the both of them, their attitudes.
Yeah.
And this is when you know, I had just talked about Viserys saying that he heard something about what happened in the north. He was like, do you have the blade? So she shows him the blade or whatever, and they was like, this is Valyrian steel. And then Littlefinger confessed to say it's his, but he lost it to Tyrion Lannister in a gambling thing.
Like a tournament.
Yeah. And so, you know, I could see the seeds being planted, and I could see where he's trying to lead the breadcrumbs in the story or whatever. So that was one of the things that I got out of that particular sequence. Y'all want to speak to anything?
Yeah, I want to know, do y'all think that Cersei put him up to saying that? Or was this all him?
I think it's all him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's all him. But I wouldn't be surprised because she doesn't really care for Tyrion. So if she was trying to like sway it somewhere else, but I just don't think that she would sway it towards a Lannister. Like it seemed like it's his doing because the way he made it kind of go towards the Lannisters. Like I feel like she has some type of loyalty to Tyrion, even though she has like a rocky relationship with him, but I don't think that she would throw him under the bus just that soon.
Right.
But as things start to progress, we see how that goes.
Right. And one thing with him is that he will tell the truth and also a lie.
Right.
So it's like that's how
will be omitting something and not
tell half truth. So that's what I call it. A half truth.
So he wants to and the truthful part is so that you can get someone to trust you a little bit, right? And it's like this guy's all jacked up. He's like the devil. There was something that I wanted to say so bad, but hopefully I remember and we'll say it off screen or whatever, because it's really funny how he was trying to insert Tyrion, and it just seems like, what did he have against him? Right. Even in the books, I don't remember them ever really saying what he really had against Tyrion. Right. Maybe he just didn't like the fact that he was a dwarf and he just picked on him.
That's what
because of that. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So
because
basically, he's trying to put him where he was up in that tower and push him off the tower. He's not even tall enough to make it to that.
No,
to be at that window.
He's trying to say that he's the one who sent the assassin.
Yeah, I know that, but
he knows daggone well he didn't push him off the window, but he knows that someone's trying to. I said push him off the window.
Yeah, he knows that. Just saying, I'm looking at the window. You know damn well he couldn't have did that. How small he is.
No, he's talking about they're trying to figure out who sent the assassin. At this point, we know who pushed him out the window. You know, even the mom knows that. But now it's who sent the assassin.
Right.
And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to plant seeds, like you said, little breadcrumbs, and lead back to Tyrion.
Right. Right.
As if Tyrion has any kind of motive for that.
Right.
What does he gain?
Nothing. Nothing to gain by any of that. You know?
Yeah.
Now we go to the wall, and we see Mr. Jon Snow, Mr. Lord Stark. I mean,
Lord Snow.
I mean, he was on one, wasn't he? He was like, you know, I guess he felt like he was finally better than somebody. Like, you know, he was he's attached to a high class, I mean, a high house or whatever. Yeah. And then he comes here with all these rapists and prisoners and criminals and all this other stuff, and he's looking down his nose. And then, of course, because he trained so hard at Winterfell, that was like one of their things, you know, he was always training. And so now he was able to show it off. You know, he was just up on his high horse. He had a little superior moment right there.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Sure did.
Everybody noses and stuff. I was just like, Lord.
He sees it. The instructor can't stand it. I forgot his name.
Alistair Thorne.
Thorne? Yeah.
Alistair Thorne.
Not the one that was above watching. I'm talking about the
Yeah, Alistair Thorne. That's Jorah Mormont.
At the top.
Yeah, he couldn't stand him.
Yeah, that's Sir Jorah.
He wanted to make sure he keep him in his place by constantly calling him a bastard too.
Right. But I noticed that Jorah's father, Mormont, called him Ned Stark's son. He didn't call him a bastard. So there's some type of respect there between Mormont and Ned Stark. So we see that because he's not calling him bastard when, you know, that's usually like what they say. But they had a little talk or whatever. I forget what they were talking about. Do y'all know what they were talking about?
He was just talking about how Tyrion was basically saying that, oh, you have a charming man, don't you? You know, basically being sarcastic. And he's like, I don't need him to be charming. I think that was the word he used. I need him to turn these men into men in the Night's Watch, you know, these rapists and thieves or whoever, you know, because he said winter is coming, like they're not just Stark words. I think he was saying that. Right. They're not just Stark words. It's really coming. And, you know, he's talking about the White Walkers, everything that we saw in episode 1, right?
Right.
He knows that there's a threat beyond the wall.
But right now they seem to think it's the Wildlands.
Well, he knows.
Talk of the White Walkers, but for now it feels like the threat they keep talking about is the Wildlands.
Well, when he said winter is coming, it sounded like he was referring to the whites and like the White Walkers.
Okay.
Because they know that there's something out there because remember, they found out about the guy that deserted on the first episode. So they know that, you know, they know the tale that he was telling. But I don't know if he would have made it back to the wall and to Lord Commander Mormont and told him the story. If he would have believed him, he probably would have, right? But because he deserted, Ned had to kill him. So it didn't really matter what he was saying. His story probably would have got past, I'm going to say Sir Jorah. That's not Sir Jorah. Lord Commander, right? But for Ned, he's like, we don't believe in all that stuff. He's looking at him like it's mumbo jumbo.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blab on him.
No, we good. This is moving with Maester Aemon. What's that, Maester? And he was bringing him Pycelle, a raven, a message. And so He's looking at it. We don't really know exactly what it's saying. Is it saying that Bran is awake? I want to say that's because I remember Jon Snow got a raven too, and it said Bran is awake or something like that. So maybe that's the raven that's going out among.
Yeah, everybody's getting the same. Yeah, raven.
Yeah. So he was like, I almost forgot. And then here comes Littlefinger kind of antagonizing him. He's like, you would want to read that to your wife, wouldn't you? And he's like, my wife is in Winterfell. He was like, is she?
Yeah, you know,
he is a mess.
Something else.
I said, oh my goodness.
We already know he can't stand him anyway.
Right. So I just showed him yanking him up or whatever. And she's like, Ned, you know, and it was just so funny. He goes up there and he sees her. And that was that. It was just a funny little scene of him yoking him up. And that wasn't the one where he said, don't trust me or something. What was it?
Wait, say it again.
You remember when he told him, don't trust me or something? It wasn't there. And that's
right. It was I think it was a further scene.
When he put a knife to his neck or something.
Yeah, it's further down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget what he said to kind of trigger him.
He said, I told you not to trust. That one is further down. I told you not to trust me. But they were having some type of conversation and he was saying, well, maybe I judged you wrong. You know, maybe there are some people I could trust, or you might be somebody I can trust. And he said, no, you don't. You can't trust me. But this was this is further down. This is probably like in episode 6?
6 probably.
Yeah, that's further down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we got Tyrion. You know, he just actually went to the wall just because he wanted to experience it. He wanted to go up there and he just kind of wanted to hear the stories. He just kind of, so he brought a different dynamic to the wall, and the people were having conversations. And I believe this is like one of the first times that Jon and Tyrion kind of bonded with each other, and just kind of talking or whatever. The other people at the wall, the other guys, they just kept on picking on him because I guess because he did all that stuff to him, like he really like hurt some of them, like
he broke them up.
Yeah, when he was showing off, he was showing off, and so they mad. They big mad. So
yes, they are.
Yeah,
he's like, look what you did to my nose, bastard.
And then he said, it's an improvement.
Right. Then he gonna add insult to injury. Like, it's an improvement. That'll make you want to hurt somebody. Like, oh, it's an improvement. Literally. You ain't saying sorry? Okay.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, and I loved how this whole scene when he told them about like what he's doing right now,
all their backstories and stuff.
Yeah,
and I guess he got that from Lord Commander. So yeah, he got those stories from them. So yeah, I thought that was
because he's trying to let them know like
his whole outlook on how to approach them now.
It's like everybody didn't want to come here. You know, some people didn't have a choice, and maybe you can take them under your wing, so to speak. You know,
right.
These are supposed to be your brothers. You might as well start.
And then he also was a little salty about. He said that everybody knew that what this place was, but it was your choice. You said you wanted to go. You was trying to follow Benjen. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, then he's getting all mad, talking about father knew, everybody knew what this place was, and nobody told me. And I was just like,
but to me, it was like they lied to him.
Would you have listened if anybody told you, John?
I don't know, to get away from her. Yeah, he did it to get away from her. Right, she was horrible to him.
Yeah, she was
for sure.
Yeah,
he couldn't stand him.
It's hard to say because it's like, where could he have gone if not the wall? You know,
right?
Like where else would he have been able to go? But if they could have given him the proper choice, because at this point you kind of took his choice away from him because he's thinking that this is such an honorable place to go, you know. But now it's not the same. There's thieves, there's rapers, you know, they send trash to the wall now. Right. These people are sent there so that they don't get the death penalty.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Points.
Right. And these are not honorable people.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
And if anything, that's hard for John because he's a lot like Ned when it comes to honor. Like he's big on that.
Right. And I think that's really what sullied the experiences, that the people that he was around, like those type of people. Now, if we was talking about more honorable people,
right?
He probably would feel more a part of something. And so,
it probably made him feel worse. Like I'm a bastard, and now I'm around the worst of the worst.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't make him feel, you know, it's like I could finally go somewhere where I could be someone. I'm somebody could finally look at me like I'm something other than a bastard, and this is what this is.
Right.
Right. Yeah, he was deceived in a lot of ways with the war.
Yeah. So this particular scene, I forget. Don't tell anyone I have a reputation. Okay, so basically, I blame Catelyn for creating this false sense of trust with Littlefinger and Ned. Because she was like, he's like a brother to me, you know, because they grew up in the Erie. And he's always liked her, but he don't like Ned. He liked her.
Right.
So, you know, I was just like, girl, you are like going down the wrong road with this, trying to paint this picture that, you know, he's like a brother to you. And so, you know, out of respect for you, Ned's going to treat him some certain type of way after you say that. And I felt like that was almost a setup. I was like, oh
my God. And I don't even think Ned knew that his brother had a duel with him and cut him up like that.
I don't remember. I think he probably did, because you know, when those things happen, stories like that, they got around, and I think he did know.
Yeah. So this is Cersei confronting Jaime because she knows that he sent the assassin. She was like, "What were you thinking?" So, so they're having this whole fight, and she slapped the shit out of him. Look, I caught it. I got it in the episode, so I got a little bit of footage or whatever. So I was like, good grief, I couldn't believe how she slapped her. He was like, we'll have a war.
Yes.
Cersei's son. I said, he is so out of line. So out of line.
I mean, she acting like he ain't telling the truth.
Right. No. Right. He was like, don't act like we can't outsmart a 10-year-old. She's like, well, what if it comes back to him? Because a lot of times when people have amnesia, it'd be kind of short term, and then some things will start to come back or whatever. Yeah. And so that's what she's, you know, he was trying to finish the job, but it went awry. And now they're kind of like dealing with the consequences of that. And so, you know, that was just that whole little scene or whatever.
Well, that's the thing that was confusing for me, was I didn't look at it as she looked at him like he sent the assassin. Oh, really? I thought she was saying, what were you thinking by pushing him out the window? And I'm just like, but you basically was telling him to, because you kept saying he saw us, you know? Like, so what did you expect him to do? Because at this point, because of that blade, the dagger, nobody really knows right now, I don't think, of what's going on. I know that they've heard he woke up, and I think that's why she's saying, what were you thinking? Okay. You know, but it's too late for that now. Right. He pushed him out the window, and if he would have been dead, she wouldn't have been coming over there saying, what are you thinking? You know?
Right.
It's too late for that now. She's almost saying it as if she thinks someone's listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody listening, girl. You ain't got the front.
Then again, they have birds everywhere.
Right. That's true. She trying to cover herself, even between her and her brother. She is something else.
And Jaime, he's like, basically, he's like, I'll kill all of them until it's just me and you. I was like, ooh, okay now. That was so gross. Proclamation.
Yeah, right. It's a lot of little gross lines with them too. You just be like,
oh my God, this was so. I can't, because this is a spoiler.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say, but don't say it.
Yeah, this was sad.
I love their love. Like a lot of times in those types of situations where you're like married off and you don't fall in love, but how they grew to love each other. I just thought it was so sweet. And in that moment, it was just like, I just really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he was sending her off or whatever.
Off with you.
Mm-hmm. Off with you.
And you could just see the pain in his face. He's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I really think he's a good actor. Look at him. He just looks like he just does not want her to go. Like,
yeah. And like he wished he didn't have to be in this situation.
Right.
All you had to do was say no, Ned. Like she said, you always have a choice.
Right.
And you chose it. You made it.
Yeah. And even when he came to Arya and he was like, we've come to a dangerous place. Mm-hmm. Send your kids back to Winterfell.
For real, why they gotta come with you?
Right. I was just like,
he should have sent them ahead.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then it kind of inflicted the trauma that we see later on, and
I kind of feel like he thought he was gonna be able to turn things around though. So that's why he didn't do it.
Yeah. And I guess it's a chance if they're trying to bind their houses, it's a chance to have Sansa around Joffrey and kind of form some kind of relationship or something between them two. Right. But yeah, I just didn't think it was a good idea. I was surprised that they actually made that decision to take the girls down.
Yeah, sometimes too when you have like in a lot of those older things like mid-century and even before that, they'll have the ladies in waiting come to live at court before they go on to be betrothed or married to somebody that's in a highborn family or something like that. I don't know if they're trying to get them accustomed to living in a palace or whatever, but I know that's one thing that they often did.
Right.
But if like you said, that this place is a freaking dangerous, cutthroat type of place, is there somewhere safer on the outskirts that your daughters could be in? How about we raise them on the y'all should have some kind of tower or some other castle somewhere else, for all the ladies. The heck?
Right.
But once he seen how everything went the night before with the whole incident with Arya and Joffrey, I feel like he should have backed out then.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had an opportunity to back out then. Look, this is not going to work.
Right. Mm-hmm. Putting his foot down because, like I said, because he asked him, he said, is this your command? Because it was Cersei's doing, but, he just let her just do whatever. Mm-hmm. And so that would have caused a rift for me. And I'm just like, you know what? If this is what it's going to be, I'm not here for it. I'm sorry. I declined the offer. I'm going back. Right. And hopefully off the strength of them being friends that he will allow him to go. Because, people, they get a little, egotistical and get up in their feelings and, some things could have went down. Mm-hmm. So, and you see Robert. Okay, so Robert, we get into the scene with Robert and he's sitting there and he's one of those people, the brute strength. He's that king. He's the king of war. Robert's rebellion. You know what I'm saying? He's usurping thrones and shit. So they're talking. I think he's talking to Sir Barristan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Say it again for me, Miss.
Yes, Sir Barristan Selmy.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then he don't like Lancel. He like all these goddamn Lannisters. Mm-hmm. He was pissed. He was insulting him. I was like, oh, poor Lancel.
Lancel is
like this. Bring the Kingslayer in here. We're talking about stories of war,
right?
First kill, and so it was just like one of those, I guess.
But he's pretty good with the sword too, though.
He said, bring the king, tell your cousin to get in here. Kingslayer, get in here. You told him to tell him, and then you was going to call after him anyway. I'm like, right.
Because he's showing how he's a drunk.
I don't really see him as being drunk in this
He's drunk
scene
all day. He got a glass there that's empty right now.
Right, he had to go get him some more wine.
Yeah, he wants him to get right. He wants him to get more wine. But even as he's speaking, you can kind of see that he has his whole mind you know,
and he's not like he's sloppy or nothing
right.
like that.
And he's also being like, he's kind of antagonizing Jamie when he comes in.
Right.
You know, it's like, this is my only, it's like, this is my only time that I can really, like, if I'm gonna stick it to the Lannisters, this is how I'm gonna do it, because I can't the way I want to, because I need their father for the backing. You know, right. I need his support for everything, but I'm gonna give you hell if I have to.
Right.
So, you know, there we go again, them trading stories about their first kills and all that other crap.
Right. And then he was like this, what did the Mad King say before you stabbed him in the back? And so that's like, it's probably a sore spot for Jamie, that everybody thinks because he stabbed him in the back that there's no honor behind that. Mm-hmm. But he was like, he said what he'd been saying for hours, burn them all. So, you know, he pretty much kind of like put a cap on it, and that was the end of that scene.
Right. So, and you know what just came to mind? Oh my gosh. It's parallel, right? Mm-hmm. Remember how in last week's episode, he was kind of antagonizing and he was like being condescending, and I'm talking about Jamie, towards Jon Snow, saying, oh, you know, it's so much honor being at the Night's Watch and this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's only for life, you know. And in this scene, it was Robert's turn to do that to him. Like, look at you. Like, how do you feel standing outside, like, you know, a glorified sentry, listening to me while I eat and have sex and drink? You know, like, he was just
and make the woman well.
Yeah, it's like he's like, you know, he was basically mocking his position. You know what I'm saying? And Jamie takes his position with a lot of pride, but Robert was there to knock it down, just like Jamie was there to do that to Jon.
Right.
That's karma, baby.
Yeah, but he takes that position with pride, but he does not want to be king. He could be a king if he want to.
No, I'm talking about Jamie.
That's what I'm talking about. He doesn't want to do that.
Jamie does want to be a guard.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be a king.
We're not talking. Yeah, but he doesn't want to be a king. I'm only talking about his position that he has right now, which he takes pride in. Yeah. Robert is saying, how do you feel about being a glorified sentry while, you know, you stand outside listening to me screw and do this and do that, and, you know, and it's like he's mocking his position. So there's no need for whatchamacallit to ever express being king, because he's not, you know, he's not even in the running for it.
In the line, yeah.
Yeah, he's not even in the line. I said the running. He's not in the line.
Yeah. I got what you were saying, though.
Yeah. Here we go.
This is my point.
Yeah. I'm telling you. I took a little pride and joy in this whole little scene here. And, you know, I actually was going to put... Viserys on the cover of the thumbnail, but because it's called Lord Snow, I just went on ahead and put Jon on there. Mm-hmm. But they're basically in this particular scene, of course, just traveling or whatever. And now that she has this new sense of pride, because her and yeah, and she don't like what we know to be clear is that she doesn't like anything to do with slavery, not having your own autonomy. Because when she saw that, she was like, just tell them to stop. And so, you know, it just kind of triggers something in her. Yes. And then you'll see, you know, later on in her journey, how that bill, you know, came about her purpose, like freeing the slaves and all this other stuff, whatever. But I don't want to jump too far ahead. But she jumped off the horse, and then she just kind of went off. And I think she just went walking or something. And then for some goddamn reason, Viserys got his ass in a tizzy, and he comes and he's like talking to her crazy, talking about, you know, I don't take. And look,
yo, you gotta go. You ain't get the whole part where he yank his ass off that.
Right? Yeah, I did. It did cut off. I said, "Oh yeah, I want that part too." But yeah, he came in there like talking to Khaleesi any old kind of way. That boy whipped that whip and went around his neck. I said, yes. I say, I say, that's what your ass get. And he's like, yeah. He was like, I'm gonna kill him.
To teach respect. Please don't hurt him.
She got to keep pleading for his life.
Tell him, I don't want my brother harmed.
He was like, at least give me an ear.
Right.
You need to learn.
Look how extra he is.
Kill these dog-tracking dogs.
You're like,
Norma is looking like, are you crazy?
I am your king.
You ain't no king yet.
Should we return to the Khalisah, Khaleesi?
Oh gosh.
Too funny.
This is when he sees that the dynamics of their relationship change.
Yeah.
It's changing, and he's not liking it.
Mm-mm.
And then I liked when the man said, "You walk."
Right.
He deserved it, though.
Your ass walk. You think you're a damn king. You about
calling
to
them
your
savages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He deserved to walk.
Yeah. He was out of line. I was just like, I said, George told you, stay with Illyrio. You don't want to listen. I said, you gonna learn one day.
You gonna learn.
You are gonna learn one day. So this particular episode, I think this is when we see Jon go to the wall, and he's up there with Benjen, and he go meets him, and Benjen is telling him that, you know, he's a ranger. He has to go beyond the wall because there's some chatter about some things that's happening, some reports. Like, he was like, I gotta go check it out. And he basically told him, I'm ready. I can go with you or whatever. And he basically says no. He tells him, no, you're not going. And it kind of crushes Jon. Like, I guess he felt kind of, I mean, he was upset because he thought he was going to be with Benjen. He thought he was going to be, you know, them
fighting by his side and everything. Yep.
Right. And then he has to go off, you know, to work. And, you know, he was like, and then also too, he knocked his ass down a peg or two.
Yes.
And he kept telling him, I'm better than everybody. He said, no, you're not better than anybody. He said, here, a man gets what he earns.
Yes.
When he earns it. And so he was like, all that stuff you talking, So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see you. So he did knock him down a peg because, like I said, he had this overinflated about this Lord Snow thing. Oh yeah.
Jon definitely needed this moment because it's like, you got to stay here to learn, and you just think you're supposed to be catapulted out into, you know what I mean? Like, that's how that's how kids are too, though. You know, they just think automatically. Like, I can even tell you about my sons. They want to automatically play like they're Stephon Curry, but they don't want to practice as much. You know, they think it's supposed to just come like that. No, you got to be trained to do this.
Right.
We're going out here to fight some serious threats.
Right.
Stay your behind here and learn. And it's no favoritism.
Right. Everything
at the wall, your name, all of that, it don't matter here.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And so we see this, you know, they're just kind of talking, and, you know, they're doing a little teasing. Well, I know I think Benjen was teasing Tyrion or whatever. He called him plump. like
plump little lords like you. Tyrion was like, am I plump?
I was cracking up. But basically we learn that the guy, I can't think of his name, that's sitting beside Benji, he goes to recruit these people. Yeah. He goes to the different kingdoms and the different places and stuff like that to recruit the people at the bottom, the people who need to be dealt with or whatever. And so, you know, he goes and recruits them. So he's going back down to the capital. He said, I get most of my people from your
right. The lowest of the low, once again.
Right. And so they had this little conversation or whatever. And I think Tyrion took a couple of jabs at Benjen as well. And then he actually tells him, since you're going back down to the capital, we might as well be, companions, like travel together, like travel buddies. And he was like, I don't know, I'm not the best travel buddy. He was like, I'm a little cranky. I was like, So he was like, no, we're gonna be staying in the best places, and you want to be with a Lannister. So he kind of like pumped himself up, and I guess got him to say, okay. So, anything y'all want to say about that before we move on?
No.
Okay, so now we're the girl is teaching Khaleesi the Dothraki language or whatever, and then also too, she noticed that she's changed. Like her breasts are swelling. She hasn't bled in 2 months. What they call it, 2 moons. And so she was just like, okay, you're pregnant. And so that was a cute little. A blessing from the great stallion. So that was cute. Anybody want to say anything about that?
No. I feel like the whole dynamics of her and Drago's relationship is now an actual loving relationship once they really consummated it the right way.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I got a clip of that too, because you can see they in love.
They're in love now.
A little later, or you can see that. Okay, so then we have Jorah talking to, you remember the guy that yoked him up, and they were talking about the swords, and they're talking about their fathers and being warriors, great warriors, and honor and stuff like that. And then when the girl comes in and tells them that she's pregnant, Jorah immediately like, I gotta go somewhere. Like he had to go. He was like, they gotta go somewhere. He was like, he'll catch up. But he got to ride somewhere real quick. And so
that's why he probably went somewhere to go cry.
We all know where he really went, but we ain't going to say.
Right. But we really went somewhere. And anything you want to say about that?
No, you pretty much said it when you pointed out how he had to get up and go. I don't know why. See, one thing I'll say about this part is why the urgency with that. Like, why couldn't it wait in the morning? Why did you have to make it so obvious that as soon as somebody told you that she was pregnant, you freaking got up and went? Yeah, unless you were acting like you was gonna go get the food. But I don't think he did. He acted like he was going to get her some food.
Right.
That was their job, right? To go hunt the food and stuff like that. So I don't know. Jorah should have been a little smarter.
Okay.
Who is that? Oh, that's Jorah again.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. And it seems like they're in better spirits here. They're kind of like, I guess they know I better not mess with him, or I better bring my A game.
Right.
And because of the talk with Benjen and Tyrion, it feels like Jon has kind of come off that high horse, and he's playing better with the kids. Let's just say.
Yeah.
And anybody got some thoughts about this?
He can't. The what's the instructor name again? He can't stand him.
Thorns.
Why is Thorn so jealous of him?
Right.
What's funny about his name is that how people say, oh, you're a thorn in my side. He literally was a thorn in Jon's side all the time, but he treated Jon like Jon was a thorn in his side.
Right.
He hated him so much. There's a theory going around, and I kind of forgot how it goes, but it has something to do with why he hates Jon so much, and it might be that he was either friends with somebody, I think the Targaryens, or something like that. Somebody in at the Capitol or in the Capitol he was friends with, so he has animosity towards the Starks.
Okay,
right. That's the theory.
Sense. That makes sense. A lot of sense. And then we also see he looks up at Tyrion, and Tyrion kind of smirks at him. So I guess he understood that from his talk, and he kind of adjusted his attitude, and
right.
So I guess that's what that look was about. Y'all agree?
Yes, and even also probably a little help from his uncle too. Well, my uncle told first Lord Tyrion said it. Now my uncle tells me too. I'm not better than nobody, so
right.
Might as well start making friends.
Right. And then we have darn. They're still just talking about what's beyond the wall and winter is coming. That's basically that particular conversation.
And how many winters that they have they lived in, or
Right.
have they seen and stuff like that.
Anything you want to say about that? They were basically saying that they weren't prepared. They're ill prepared, and they said told Tyrion to tell your sister that we need more men, that we need more resources, and all this stuff. Because if it happened and we're underprepared, then what? So yeah, I do remember them saying that. So make sure I be.
The thing with this scene is that, you know, Tyrion doesn't believe in a lot of things. Like, he called them snarks, grumpkins and snarks or something like that. And he's listening to what Maester Aemon and the Lord Commander is saying. And he looks like he's taking it seriously and not taking it like it's, oh, these are just snarks and you know what I'm saying? Because he feels like these are men of honor. They're not going to lie. So there obviously is some kind of threat out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But he still doesn't believe he believes it's just the wildlings. He don't believe in the White Walkers as of yet.
So yeah, so this is what I'm telling you guys. They are in love. So yeah, so we saw this, and you know, of course, he knows. And she said it's a boy, and she's like, he was like, how do you know? She was like, I just know. And then they're kissing and all lovey dovey. I said, oh, look at that, so cute. It's better than her crying.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, Lord,
that was horrible.
Yeah, that broke my heart. I was like, I'm glad we switched that around.
Yeah. He was a dangerous one.
So this is Tyrion's exit, his goodbye with Jon or whatever. You know, I thought they came around to have a good start of a relationship. You know, it wasn't snarky like Jaime and Jon, but it was, you know, it was kind of on a better note or whatever.
Yeah,
so that's what I took from that.
They came to like each other, you know, and I think that definitely Jon liked Tyrion because he was saying, like, you know, he kind of wished that he could stay, right? Or, you know, so that was a good thing. And, you know, obviously every friendship is definitely, it's going to play into the story. You know, it's going to, you know what I'm saying? Comes back around. So it's good.
Right.
Serial Pharrell.
Right. You remember when Ned was having a talk with Arya, he was like, if you got a sword, you got to know how to use it. And so set this thing up with Serial Pharrell. And they're doing the water dance. Y'all remember that from Shang-Chi? Like the how the martial arts with is like gentle movements and stuff like that. So they were studying like a different type of training and stuff, if you will. So
yes.
It was interesting. It was a cute little scene. I think I got a little bit of video here. I don't think I have audio. I think I turned it down good. And you know, she was a little rusty. I thought she would be a little better than what she was. She was a little rusty. Maybe because it's just a different style of you know, what she's used to.
Well, you know, she's not really used to it. You know, she pretends, she plays around, but she doesn't really know what she's doing. And I guess that's why her father said, all right, if you really want to do this, then you're going to have to be trained.
Right.
You know, and then on top of that as well, she has to learn with her little body how to wield a sword.
Right.
Because is it yield or wield?
Wield.
Wield the sword.
But I think that's sword
I think I just said that wrong.
I think that sword that she's practicing with is heavy.
Yeah,
it's heavier than needle. I'll say it like that.
Of course, yes.
And he looks like he's proud of her though,
right?
Because he's smiling in the beginning, but
then, it quickly turns into worry.
Yeah, right. You see that, right?
Right.
So before we end, I just want to point out something that after seeing this so many times, I can't even count. Something different that I picked up was, you know, I always noticed that he kept calling her boy, right?
Right.
Boy. We already know this guy knows this is a little girl.
Right.
Why the heck does he keep calling her boy? And why does she take so long to correct him?
Right.
And she finally corrects him, and then he says, it doesn't matter, girl or boy. It doesn't matter. You're a sword. Right. And so I think he kept calling her a boy so that he was waiting for her to correct him, just so he can tell her that when you do this, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're a sword. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter your gender or nothing. Once you start going into this particular world right here, you're a sword. That's it.
And so like, you're not a boy or a girl.
Right. And I was like, wow, I never freaking realized that. But one thing I did always realize was that she took so long to correct him. I'm like, what? Why are you taking so long, Arya? You know that should have been the first thing you said.
Right.
I'm a girl.
But several times in this episode, she was called a boy.
In this episode, or in the season?
Yeah. The season. Look, we didn't even get to that.
Right, because I don't remember in this episode her being called a boy that many times. I just remember him
I think she was called a boy by somebody else, and then she had to correct her
something. I thought she called her a little beast. She wants to be a big lady.
That was later on, and we're not going to talk about.
No, that was when she was doing this at the table. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She told Ned, the lady,
because she knows that's not a little girl. I mean, a little boy.
I know she told Ned.
She's
acting like a beast.
Oh gosh, I didn't like
that. Should get our rating. So, well, I mean, this is as good a time as any. What do you rate this one? I don't rate it as high as last week's, but I definitely would give it like an 8 or a 7.5.
Yeah.
I'll say a 7.5.
Yeah. I'll say 8. I feel like that too. 7.5, 8.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that at this point it just keeps getting better. You know.
Right.
I agree.
It's definitely a good episode because, of course, you get to meet everybody at the Capitol. So, you know, we just got introduced to a lot more characters. We got a lot more backstories. You know, people was giving little nuggets and their first wars and first kills. And, you know, we got a little bit of backstory sprinkled in the middle of all that stuff. So, yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown analysis of Lord Snow. This is season 1, episode 3 of Game of Thrones.
No, just drop down all your thoughts for every little thing that we were talking about.
Yeah, put all your
theories. Throw it down.
We going to episode. This is episode 4 we just did, right?
No, this is 3.
Episode 3, we're doing 4 next, so I'm just excited for this journey, and I'm ready to get it in and watch it and discuss
there's so many theories, so just put them down below if you know any theories.
Right. And so anyway, make sure you like, comment, share the video if you so desire. And you make sure you follow all of my girls, Moochilla Shy. All their information will be down in the description box. Miss K, rewind that with Miss K. Don't go on YouTube looking for Miss K. Rewind that with Miss K.
Yes.
So yeah, like I said, everything will be in the description box. And you guys, don't forget about the giveaway. If you're rocking with us, you gotta follow us on social media. And you have to let me know that you have entered the contest. So like I entered or something like that. So make sure you put it in the comments so I can follow you, track you, make sure you did everything. And we'll announce the winner at the finale, the season finale of season 1.
Yay.
So yeah. I'm excited. We'll see you guys next Friday. Same bat station, same bats time.
Later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.